I'm gonna kick things off on Old Republic. By the looks of it, game 2 will be played on White Rabbit, and then there are a few more vetoes. And as soon as they're totally ready, we'll hop into it. Let me just scroll up quickly, see if there's anything I need to cover. By the way, thank you to Roscoe. I feel like I missed you earlier. I saw it, but I was talking about something else. But you know, I love you, mate. Hope you had happy holidays. I posted a nice video of Rhonda yesterday. While we wait for Reynor and Scarlett to be ready, you guys can watch me giving Rhonda her Christmas present. My puppy. Yep. That's my brother's puppy, but Rhonda got a lot of presents yesterday. She had a very busy snacking day. Snackies for days. All right, Reynor ready, Scarlett ready. Let's do it. Let's do it. Friday evening video gaming for the last time this year. And I said it before a couple times, guys, but the Big Brain Bouts will not return until the 23rd of January. It was, right? When is it? And that is because we will be doing other things on Friday evenings, Starcraft 2 related. 23rd of January, we'll be back and we'll have a Zero series. I don't know yet who Zero is going to play, but Zero will be playing on the 23rd. Reynor might be playing some Protoss here in game 1. That'd be feisty. Yes. Yes, you guys can play whatever you want, of course. Any race is fine. Switching is allowed. Have fun. So, by the looks of it, Reynor is thinking about some Protoss, but then also wants to have the opportunity to go back to Zerg. For my part, it's allowed. Game 1 is played on Europe. Game 2 will be played NA. Game 3 Europe. Game 4 NA. And the decider would be on Europe if we get there. Alright, just waiting for Indy. Indy really wants to know the 5th map. 10k feet. Saro Nicorakt. I mean, I would love to see it. The problem is just that just because I want to see it doesn't mean that many other people want to see it. And if Zero then just wins 3-0, then some people are going to be upset. Like, oh, you got Zero to play and you could have given him Clem or Max Packs. But we'll see. I think eventually having Nicorakt play Zero would be cool. But maybe we wait a few months. We'll give the young Russian a little more time to even get a bit better, sharper. And then we'll let him swim with the big sharks once. Game 1, and it's not a ZVZ, it's a PVZ on this final Big Brain Bouts main event of the year. Let's do it.
Let's get it on. Round 1, fight.
Bottom left side, representing the Shopify Rebellion. I am a very big fan of Shopify, as they have performed incredibly well this year. Thank you, tiny bonus for retirement, Ruddy. We love it. It is Scarlett. Also great esports team, of course. The main company seems to be pretty solid. Top right side, we're looking at the main base of the man from Basilisk. The main event will always have a Basilisk player from here on out. And then we'll just alternate in a perfectly fair way. 1 week Trigger, 1 week Zero, and the other week it will be the Italian Stallion, Reynor. And Reynor has decided to play Protoss in game 1. A lot of you guys are aware of Reynor, his ZVP woes, his frustrations, especially certain playstyles. They really seem to trigger him a little bit. Now, it is often a lot more difficult to execute than what it looks like. Sometimes it looks like these pro guys that they're just chilling, fly around with an Oracle, they're warping a couple Stalkers, and you know, it just looks like Protoss is good, but it's never that easy. And Reynor knows that, obviously, because it's not his first time playing Protoss. He still wants to give it a shot here today. He won't play now. I'm here to cast, mate. As I've said it before, if I play anything serious, I would have to adjust the bitrate. I really hate playing with 6K bitrate. I feel like my mouse doesn't move, my PC doesn't run that well. But then I would have to record the entire night in a lower bitrate. And that wouldn't be very nice, because then the other games won't look as pretty, and then people will be unhappy. Also, I don't think my games are all that interesting. I'm not that good. I'm not that versatile. Let's just watch the guys do what they do best. Way more fun to watch Trigger, Reynor, or Zero play. If you guys want to watch me play, you can always stop by an hour earlier on the Friday or the Monday. I'll always go live a little bit before tournaments. We'll always play a couple ladder games. And you can watch me derp around. Have some fun, lose, win, whatever. At some point I believe he was the best PvZ player in the world. If you're referring to Reynor. What was the name? Was it Huset Station? The one map that Reynor defeated Zero in like a 35-minute game or whatever it was. Very odd map. A silly map. They did give us a couple of very good games, but overall pretty bad map. Huset. Reynor obviously had very good PvZ, but it's a different day and age. Like a little while ago when we were playing in the Crank TV Team League, and Reynor tried to play some Protoss in the 2v2s. He did specifically say, like, I really haven't played that much Protoss lately. I don't feel that good about my Protoss. I actually think just playing Zerg and going double Zerg is better than me playing Protoss and you playing Zerg. You two, Cero that is. In the end, they tried twice with Protoss. They lost both games. The Reynor played Zerg one game together with Cero, double Zerg. And they did win that one. So Reynor's Protoss is now definitely not as sharp as it once upon a time was. But he still wants to give it a shot. Reynor, of course, had many other great performances with Protoss, that is true. Yes, he won one game against Cero, but he also defeated Solar twice, I believe. One time online, one time on LAN. So that was very impressive. Also took a couple mappies of Dark, indeed. Rotter is also the map that Cero beat Hero when he was so behind. Yeah, I remember that. That was a really painful game, though. Because that was a free win. I remember Lambo saying that Roddy would have won from Hero's position. And that's where you know that Lambo truly believes that Hero was very far ahead. Cero also had a great game on that map against Maru, if you guys remember that. Like at one of the Katowice's, Reynor, what is that Oracle movement? Ay, 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 that was not the way Reynor wants to start off his Big Brain Bouts main event. So. Reynor's gonna go double Stargate Phoenix. Scarlett has a +1 melee Zerglings on the way. Double Stargate Phoenix. I mean, I know you guys will think that I love it. And I do love it. As a neutral spectator point of view, I love seeing Phoenix. But I really don't think Phoenix are that good against Zerg these days. It has to do with the Spore Crawlers obviously getting better. That makes it just a little bit harder to get a lot of value out of Phoenix harassment. Hydras, they just seem to show up in larger numbers and they just perform a little bit better. On top of that, all the Zergs found very quick waves to sneak in Hive Tech, to sneak in a couple of Infestors. And Phoenix are not bad against Hydras alone. They do become very bad against Hydra Infestor. They become very bad against any Viper that's on the battlefield, as it's almost impossible to split your Phoenixes correctly. But let's see how Reynor plays it. He's hiding it. Scarlett at this point is not certain of what Reynor is doing yet exactly, but I don't think she's going to be mega worried. Less energy in this patch too? You mean because the battery overcharge? I mean, Phoenix, it's just really hard to make Phoenix work. I'm still trying every single day because I'm a stubborn old man with only one trick, but it is really hard to make Phoenix shine in this matchup. There was a day and age where they were a lot more powerful than they currently are. Also seems like Zergs just got better in like making the economies explode. The moment they realize it's Phoenix, even if they lose 10 drones, it doesn't matter. They replace them so quickly, they will still have their 15 to 20 drone advantage. And it's going to be very difficult for Reynor. Queen count currently for Scarlett is only 5. That is something to maybe keep an eye on. These adepts are going to get surrounded immediately. Reynor is going to lose these. Here come the Phoenixes. Killing 3 queens would obviously be a lovely start for Reynor. And since there is no... Oh, there's no Spore Crawler here. So Reynor could have potentially killed all 3 queens. But because Scarlett immediately goes for the counterattack, Reynor wanted to show it a little bit of respect and lift a couple of the Banelings. But by lifting those Banelings, he gave Scarlett the time to bring those queens back to his Spore Crawler. And this is where it becomes harder to kill a queen. Maybe a couple Overlords. Scarlett just doing her thing. Oh, Reynor, his Stalker is about to get picked off. The floodgates are open. We could get in. We could get in. And we are going to get in with at least a couple of links. This is going to be very difficult for Reynor, guys. Links in the natural, links in the main base. I speak from a place with a lot of experience where I tell you this will always hurt. This is never what you want to see if you're building Phoenix. Because it's difficult to find economic damage with the Phoenix. And then the one thing is, that it's Phoenixes are basically useless at home. Oh, yeah, this is very painful. This is a very, very, very painful for Reynor. Phoenix is still doing their thing. Actually lifting a couple Hydras as well. Does lose a Phoenix to the Spore. The Giga Chat Spore. Doors are still open, but Reynor does have a couple of Adepts and a couple of Oracles here. Scarlett decides to just play it safe with these links for now. 11 extra drones on the way as we're building another Spore. 6 more Hydras. I mean, it's not bad what Reynor did here. But I also don't think it's good enough, because Scarlett is still a 5-base Zerg. And Reynor does not have the kind of army that can ever move out soon. Do you think that Reynor is doing this build because he thinks Roddy will love it? Hello, Optimist. Happy holidays, matey. I don't know. No. I'm actually not sure why Reynor decided to go for this. When I saw Reynor pick Protoss in game 1, I really expected him to just do the thing that he hates the most. And I can guarantee you guys that what Reynor hates the most playing as Zerg against Protoss is not double Stargate Phoenix. I don't think he really cares about double Stargate Phoenix. What he hates is obviously Adepts harassing, then Oracles harassing, and then Blink Stalkers in his face, never allowing him to grow, never allowing him to breathe, never allowing him to be aggressive as a Zerg. That's the kind of stuff that he hates. I highly doubt that he would have a very big problem with Hero, Classic, or Max Packs playing double Stargate Phoenix against him. So, I find it a bit surprising. And he might already be regretting it a little bit as well. Don't think he really has the money for I mean, he doesn't have Blink. Somebody says he's got Blink, but he does not have Blink. He only has Storm, he has +1, and he's going Zealot Charge. Honestly, I think Reynor is pretty dead, guys. I hate to say it, but I think Reynor is kind of dead. Even if the Storms are good, there's just going to be a second wave. Coco's famous, a second wave will be here. 24 Banelings on the way for Scarlett. Make it 28. Reynor is in a lot of trouble. One Archon, but the Archons don't have plasma shields. It's just a +1 Archon. Maybe a massive stasis trap could help. First Storm is cute and is going to soften up a couple of units, but that is so much Zerg. Scarlett has done a tremendous job with her Zergling counterattacks, getting into the main base, getting into the natural, dealing some economic damage, while making sure that she could absorb the damage from the Phoenixes at home. And Reynor is just in trouble. I have seen I've seen enough games from my own point of view. Even though I wouldn't have Storm, but it doesn't change. I know that this is not a pleasant place to be in. Does Australia still play, or did he retire? I don't think Australia's playing a lot. I also don't think that he necessarily retired forever. I think it's one of those, it comes down to the Esports World Cup. If there is an announcement for the Esports World Cup, you guys will see Australia play. And if there is not, yeah, then there is a chance he will do other things. Couple of Banelings of Scarlett make it into the middle line as the zoning storms do go down, but Scarlett has units for days, has juicy Baneling connections for days. 16 probes going down. Reynor is fighting an impossible uphill fight here. Sweeping leaves on a windy day. Violent met the crown open. It doesn't really matter how well you defend here. You will just always continue to take more and more damage. Great shot down here by Scarlett at the bottom side. Not having to worry about those zealots. Not having to worry about that war prism. Hive tech is on the way. So it's still lair tech Zerg, but Banelings are gonna try to make their way in. Couple of stasis trappies are good. Actually very good defense this time around by Reynor, guys. This is going a whole lot better than the previous defense. Is there a moment where the Phoenixes can start lifting Hydras and they can start battling? Maybe now with some Zealots storming forward. Can the Archons get in range? And the Hydra DPS is pretty sexy. Reynor may eventually clean this up. Find a few Zerglings on the ground are dead. All the Phoenixes do take care of the remaining Hydras. It's a really good hold. This second part went so much better than the first one. Reynor did as good as he could ever do there. But he does not have the kind of army right now to counterattack. So there will always be more. where that came from. There are a couple drones dying apparently. I don't know where that happened. Bottom side. Yeah, fantastic defense by Reynor. Will this now allow him to actually secure a 4th base and maybe slowly turn this into a more normal game where he gets a few more High Templars, a few more Archons, better upgrades, add in a couple of Immortals? Yeah, we will see. Reynor decided to play Protoss in game 1 because he felt like it. He is allowed to go back to Zerg in game 2, 3, 4 or 5. Obviously if Scarlett wants to play off race, she's also allowed. The only thing that I do, guys, is ask them if they want to play. Let them know what they're playing for. 200 bucks for the winner of this series, 50 buckies for the loser. And how they want to win those 200 bucks, that is up to the players. I don't think Reynor will play Protoss through the entire series. If Reynor wins game 1, he will try it again. If he loses, and I still think he is losing, even though that previous defense over here at the 3rd was spectacular. If he wins, he'll play another game of Protoss. If he loses, I think he goes to Zerg. Don't use Twitch a lot, but love to see you as always. Love to see you too, matey. I think you should use Twitch more often. If you have the time. Thank you for stopping by, and I hope you have a fun Friday. Couple zealots of Reynor harassing the 5th base of Scarlett. Yeah. Obviously 14 minutes into Legacy of the Void, there is almost nothing left in your main, as you guys can see. Reynor is about to be down to 1 mineral patch in the main. And in the natural, he's got 4, and they have around 400 to 500 minerals per patch left. So Reynor desperately needs to make sure that this base continues to be alive and up and running. Oh, a big run by. Ah, that's painful. That is still very painful. The Forge will finish up at +3. Reynor is getting a tiny bit fortunate here. That is a mega close call. But +3 does finish up. But still, nice little run by for Scarlett. Scarlett ultra rich as he finds an Immortal. There's no stasis trappies here anymore. A couple of Banelings trying to roll in, but the Phoenix is doing a good job in lifting those Banes. It's kind of cute. Andre! I saw that South Africa lost, matey. 1-0. Andre lost to Magnet. Ay. It's alright. Playoffs, baby. Playoffs are different. Thank you so much for the tier 3, the 50 months, and all the love and support to Team Roddy over the years. Lynx, Banes, and Hydras at this point. Trying to make some progress here. There's so many Hydras, by the way. It's really tough to run on such a big ball of Hydras. We have 10 High Templars. High Templars are just not that quick. And if the Hydras spoke over here at the 4th, but 2 seconds later they show up in the natural, more often than not your High Templars are not going to make it over in time. Hello, Josh. Merry Christmas. I think for 4 more hours, guys, I will accept the Merry Christmas. After that, we're going to start with Happy New Year, okay? Because once Boxing Day is over, CET, it's totally over. Scarlett doing a fantastic job here in flexing her multitasking muscle with a couple of lings on the top side of the map, opening the doors in the natural once more. And it's not just Banelings and Hydras. We've got 10 Lurkers in the mix as well. So stay a very impressive game here by Scarlett, who's currently playing a lot of games, I believe, over at the European ladder under the account Serofan. I played against Serofan yesterday, and I didn't know it was Scarlett. I was kind of frustrated, by the way. I was like, man, the Zerg is really good. But then it turned out I was playing against Scarlett, and I was like, yeah, okay, that kind of makes sense. Reynor loses his Observer to the Spore Crawler, which means that if Scarlett now has 1 or 2 defensive Lurkers, it's just, I think it's an impossible game for Reynor. Just all game long, Reynor has been in a rough spot ever since that Zergling run by happened. After holding for the 2nd time in the 3rd, it maybe looked like it could be playable. But I just think it's never really been the Protoss sweet spot. It's never been comfortable enough as a Protoss. Not being able to truly be aggressive and slow the Zerg down on the other side of the map while feeling safe and sound at home. Reynor losing 61 probes. Might be a good moment for Scarlett to just go home now. Like, kind of be happy with the damage that she's done. She's in the main base. She has killed most of the infrastructure. Reynor barely has any production left. But Reynor also can't attack, because he has no detection. He's got 1 Observer and 2 Oracles. He's got 1 Oracle. He's got 16 High Templars, by the way. How do you know that our boy has been hurt by High Templars without him telling you that he's been hurt by High Templars? Well, 18 minutes in, we've got 16 of them on the map. Hope that's a fake tree. I think this is a real tree. This tree is real. Downstairs we have a big fake tree, but this one is real. I bought it over at the Albertine. Just to give you guys some Christmas vibes on this channel for a couple weeks. Reynor actually does have a supply lead. That's kind of crazy. Scarlett has all the money in the world, but has lost most of her production facilities as well. Has managed to rebuild a Hydralisk den in the bottom right side, rebuild the spawning pool and the spire. Reynor actually temporarily having an army supply advantage. I don't think that is going to mean a whole lot, but it's impressive. The fake tree was a comment to someone keeping that tree up to April. I don't know. Maybe I will keep it until I come home from the big Gabriel Cup. So, starting the 11th or 12th of January, the tiny tree is done. But until then, we keep it. By the way, this army has no detection. Reynor needs to recall it immediately. Yeah, I mean, this counterattack was a cute idea, but I still don't think that it's necessarily close, right? I don't see how we can ever talk about Scarlett being in any sort of danger here. Unless he takes an absolutely horrific fight. But Scarlett has been taking pretty good fights all game long. Only the second wave here was a little bit reckless. Or maybe Scarlett already felt that she was so far ahead that she could get a little bit crazy and reckless and just end it. Our boy really has been hurt by the High Templar, guys. We've got 16 High Templars that are all pretty much maxed out on energy. I think at least 28 storms to work with at this point, if not 30 or soon 32. We love fire and worms in his house. We do love the worm. Ryan with the raid. Ryan will always tell you guys that it is time. I never know what it is time for. Most of the time I think it's time for Ryan to make a cheeky donation to all the poker players around the world. But thank you, matey, for the raid. I really appreciate it. I hope you had fun. And I hope that there was some lady luck on your side today. Hydra's dashing back to the high ground. Fun 21-minute first game between Reynor and Scarlett. Game 1 of a best of 5 where the winner gets $200, the loser gets 50. Provided, of course, by Basilisk. If you guys love the Big Brain Bouts and you're looking forward to more Zero, Reynor, and Trigger in the future, please use !Basilisk to show some love to the team in the chat. Here comes Reynor's army. Reynor has 30 storms. Let's not forget that, guys. Reynor literally has 30 storms to work with. There are a couple of lurkers in the mix. Only 2 lurkers remaining right now, but the spore crawlers are incredibly useful in keeping the phoenixes and the oracles at bay. Are those lurkers on the other side of the map? Nope, those are just Zerglings. Alright, well, we had 30 storms. And then we had no storms anymore. The High Templar is sticking around a little bit too long. Okay, well. Reynor made it about as close as he perhaps could have made it after that, what I felt was disastrous start. That first Ling run by, Lings in the natural, Lings in the main base. It is so deadly when you're trying to play a double Stargate Phoenix style. This does mean, guys, that Scarlett is going to take the 1-0 lead in this best of 5. And game 2 will be played on the NA server. So we're going to swap servers. Can't believe he ran out of storms. Well, he mostly ran out of High Templars. I don't think Reynor ran out of storms, but he did run out of High Templars because the lurkers got some good shots up. Ah, well, a fun first game. A fun first game. Scarlett are taking the 1-0 lead. Game 2. We're going to NA. Reynor can obviously go back to playing Zerg now if he wants to. If he wants to be very stubborn, he can play Protoss once more. But if he goes down 0-2, it's going to be hard for him to win. And doesn't everyone want a little $200 bonus on Boxing Day? Since they took the Premier League entertainment away from us, you have to find your bonus in Starcraft too. The goat of Warcraft 3, happy to see you stream and go on Pro SC2. Greetings from Norway. I love your kindness, mate, but I am not the goat of Warcraft 3. I am not even remotely close. I wasn't even the best player coming out of the Netherlands, so I cannot take that title. But I am proud. I am proud of a couple of the little things we achieved in Warcraft 3. But nowhere near the GOAT. And that's okay. Not everyone can be a GOAT. Can't believe it was 10 years ago that you played against Scarlett, and now I'm watching Scarlett in a show match. It was 10 years ago the Bitcoin show match, Naniwa. I am sure that you've played against Scarlett many times, but obviously the most famous one was the one for 11 Bitcoins. Naniwa SC2 is in the chat, and for anybody that started watching Starcraft 2 a little bit later. Once upon a time, Naniwa and Scarlett played a best of 7 or a best of 9 or best of 11, whatever it was, for 11 Bitcoins. Right now that would equal a single series for 850,000 euros. Back then it wasn't quite 850k yet, but it was still a serious prize pool. You guys can Google it. It was organized by Total Biscuit back then, with the Naniwa Scarlett show match for 11 Bitcoins. Could go down as the biggest series in StarCraft 2 history. We have a ZVZ, by the way, guys, as we've loaded into Game 2 on White Rabbit on the American server. Top right side of White Rabbit, we're looking at the main base of the Italian Stallion. He's down 0-1. Not a single Basilisk player has lost yet, by the way, in the main event, since we went with the small adjustment of the format. And I can only assume that this man wants to keep the winning record intact. It is Basilisk Reynor. We covered it already 5 times. Sarah will play again in the Big Brain Bouts on the 23rd of January. There is a very, very, very good chance that you guys will see Sarah play before that. And that is the offline event in China that is happening on the 17th and 18th. There are not too many public details yet about this event, but if you guys use !next, you can always see what's coming up. I will try to keep that updated throughout the year, so if you guys are wondering when is the next big event, it should always show up at !next. And I expect Acerol to be in China, just like Reynor will be in China, and all the other great players will be in China. But that is not worth talking about yet, guys, because we need to talk about Hero Marine and the big Gabe Cup that is happening on the 10th of January. A one-day event in Cologne, over $5,000 on the line. So let's get hyped for the big Gabe Cup. Let's celebrate Big Gabe and all of his crazy efforts of putting that together. And I hope to see all of you guys in Cologne. And after that, we'll start worrying about the China event. China event is offline. Big Gabriel Cup is offline in Cologne at the Experian. !Gabe. If you guys want some extra info on the next one. Imagine if there would be a $5,000 offline event in the first week of January to start 2026 for StarCraft 2. Huh?
Imagine if there was no clan.
Yeah, imagine if. Well, it's happening. So show some love to Gabe, celebrate Gabe. Alright, enough about Gabe, enough about future events, enough about players that are not playing right now. You know where the China event will be broadcasted? No. I think they are trying to give me a broadcasting setup, but I don't think it's going to work. And I'm okay with that, because I'm not going there to cast. I'm going there to have fun and vibe and support the players. But I'm sure that it will be broadcasted in many different ways, shapes or forms. Maybe here, maybe there, maybe everywhere, maybe on different platforms, maybe Twitch, maybe YouTube, maybe on Douyu, who knows. Let's worry about it after the Big Gabe Cup. By then I'll have all the info. Watch the Big Gabriel Cup, and by then we have all the info for the China event. Alright guys, very quick layer on the side of Scarlett. ZVZ is a very odd matchup these days, because there are a lot of very different sharp builds that you can go for. And some of them are just incredibly difficult to scout, and some of them are very difficult to prepare against. This is also a reason why Solar is such a menace to play against in this matchup. Because you never really know what you're going up against. And even when you scout, you still don't know if what you scout is actually what it means. Or if they're trying to show you something, but actually go for something else. Which is very common in ZVZ. Scarlett has gone for a very quick Spire. She does also have missile attacks on the way. Reynor has no tech yet. I'm actually a little bit worried for Reynor, guys. This is going to be a relatively late lair for Reynor, which means getting a 4th base is going to be very difficult. Very, very, very difficult. Okay, Reynor is going to sneak a couple of Zerglings into the main base. That is obviously good news for him. He will see that the lair is done. He will see the gases. Sees a couple of roaches coming out. This can actually... And he still hasn't seen the spire. Okay, that's very annoying for Reynor. Because if you're Reynor and you get in and you see a lair and you see roaches spawning, I wouldn't necessarily be thinking about a spire being done as well. Unless he saw the gases, but he did not see the gases. I think this is one of those classic moments where you scout in ZVZ, but what did you really scout? Well, Reynor does see that Scarlett is now going to try to go up to 3 bases, and he will be there very quickly to deny it. And that is well done. I don't know what you mean with view time. If you wonder how long I've been live today, only 3 hours and 20 minutes. Because obviously, second Christmas day in the Netherlands, I had to spend some time with the family this morning. Got to spend some time with my brother, his wife, my dad, and then went over to my mom and my grandma. And we were gonna have a nice dinner, but I completely forgot that Big Brain Bouts was on second Christmas day. So I told them yesterday that, or 2 days ago, that unfortunately I couldn't be there. But it was still fun. I got to spend plenty of time with him. Hydralisk then on the way for Reynor. Scarlett has just made a few mutas. So he's definitely not going crazy on the muta count. Pumped out 4 mutas and has kind of prioritized roach production over mutalisk production. Yesterday was of course the real Christmas day. I would not have skipped yesterday. Second Christmas day is never as important as the first one. I love Big Brain Bouts and I love Friday Night Starcraft, but if it would have been yesterday, then I would have picked my family. I apologize, guys. Second Christmas day, we can do some Starcraft. It's alright. Family doesn't mind. Porkroll is going to get a couple shots off. One muta does fall. Second muta takes a lot of damage. Reynor tried to get lucky once more over at the 3rd base of Scarlett. I'm a little bit confused, guys, about the build order of Scarlett. And I kind of felt that if Scarlett would have gone for all-out mutas, he definitely would have found some decent success. And it would have been very annoying for Reynor to play this game. Now it's just... yeah, I don't know. It's been a little bit of everything. Perhaps Scarlett can surprise Reynor with a crazy amount of roaches. And she's got 35 roaches at the moment. Okay, that is a lot. 35 is officially the threshold of something being a lot. Reynor is going to try to get a couple lurkers out, and lurkers are pretty goated against roaches, but lair tech lurkers can die. And obviously this is a big scout for Reynor, not seeing a single drone over here at the 3rd base. Reynor has to know that Scarlett is going to make a very, very, very serious and committed attack. To his side of the map, we've got 3 lurkers. That's already difficult. There's no overseer. Oh no, there's no overseer for Scarlett. Scarlett cannot do this. Scarlett, you cannot do this. You cannot do this. No! Stop it! You absolutely can never ever do that. Even 2 lurkers would already be very difficult. Nothing immediately died, but that was still a lot of damage. Scarlett now, of course, waiting for her overseer to show up. Decided to morph one at home. That's going to take a long time. Reynor is enjoying all this extra time that he's getting as he can just continue to run some circles with his Zerglings. Finds a decent amount of roaches, but did not want to take that fight. And now Scarlett's actually going to try to cut off the retreat path. Roaches everywhere. Scarlett finding some good victories here, to be fair. Solid 30 or so Zerglings going down on the side of Reynor. Well, Reynor not getting a lot in return. Other than time. And time is not bad when we're pumping out lurkers. Against someone who does not have lurkers yet. Hey, these lynx have run an entire marathon. I'm getting exhausted for these Zerglings. From the top to the left side, back to the top side of the map, back to the bottom right side. Usain Bolt and the bros over here. Actually, Usain Bolt's more of a sprinter. I mean, these lynx are sprinting, but I'm not that well known when it comes to famous marathon runners. Other than Gabe. Gabe has run a marathon. Do you guys know yet about Gabe? His $5,000 offline event is happening on the 10th of January. Exclamation mark Gabe. Hive tech almost done on the side of Reynor. And that obviously means that his lurkers will not just be okay, but that means they're going to be amazing. Because with Hive tech we can get seismic spines, the range upgrade, we can get adaptive talents. Lings are going to jump at a couple of roaches and a single Ravager. Not a Ravager or two going down. Feels like Reynor is having some fun here. This is like old school Reynor magic where he just has a crazy amount of Zerglings and he's just putting all that APM to work. Trying to find openings and trying to find out some errors on the side of Scarlett. Scarlett's done a good job though in keeping it together. Not taking too much damage. Actually doing a really solid job in now splitting up her forces as well. Finding a victory over at the 4th base. Scarlett is going to get her own hive and also has a Nidus. Ooh, this is a good fight for Reynor. Very, very good fight for Reynor. Scarlett, all of her roaches and Ravagers get surrounded. It means that the lurkers will destroy it. But perhaps Scarlett in return can find a good fight over here at the triangle base of Reynor. That was a sexy surround on the side of Reynor. Very well done. Not often do you see that many Lings and Lurkers getting a dream fight against that many roaches and Ravagers. That was a big victory for Reynor. So as for Scarlett, it kind of feels like all of her hard work of the last 2 minutes just went up in dust. As a few more roaches get surrounded. Reynor just has so many units. He's really trying to make the swarm proud. Maybe not the best moment to leave the lurkers though, as I think the side block has made it very hard for some of these lurkers of Reynor to actually fire. So Scarlett did a great job there in reducing the lurker count on Reynor's side. And Reynor's supply is plummeting. Lost a crazy amount of lurkers in the center of the map that I don't think he was ever supposed to lose. But I think the units coming in from the top and the side blockers allowing Scarlett to just kill these roaches for free, or those lurkers, turned it into a really bad fight. This looked good for Reynor and it kind of was good for Reynor until he lost everything. And now Scarlett's up a base. Scarlett's up 40 supply. And Reynor lost a crazy amount of units. Does have adaptive talents. I would love to take another look at that, but we were taking a look at the links that we're trying to run into the natural. Wow, that's crazy, because I felt that Reynor had like 8 lurkers or something. No, there's no way that 8 lurkers can just die like that. Must have been one of these moments where Scarlett had vision of the lurkers, but Reynor did not have vision of the roaches and ravages of Scarlett. It's the only thing that I can really imagine. Scarlett maxed out. Up 1-0 in this best of 5. Reynor is once again trying to get his hands on a 4th base. Lurker count is obviously still quite okay here on the side of Reynor. It's going to be difficult for Scarlett to run on top of this. I don't think that's really doable. Seems like Scarlett just really wants to get another cancel on this base. The Ravagers are going to do their thing. Scarlett really wants this base. Lurkers are going to get awfully close now though, so Reynor is going to get a couple of big shots off. As Reynor again was looking for a counterattack with his Zerglings. But Scarlett had a very good read on it. Because Scarlett was the Muda player, you can see that Scarlett still has all that extra map vision of these overlords. So Scarlett is going to see these blue bobs move from the top side to the bottom side of the map over and over again. And Reynor will see that Scarlett sees it, but other than that can't really do much about it. Since we can't bring any Hydras there to gun down all these overlords. The overlords should have speed as well, right? Yeah, they do. So even if Reynor would kill 1 or 2, Scarlett is going to send a new overlord out. That really is the power of the Spire in this particular game. Reynor does not have any Hydra specific upgrades. We've got missile attacks, but no Hydra speed, no groove spines. We just have the lurker upgrades now. Both of the lurker upgrades are done. And the Lings have Adreno glands. And Lings with Adreno are sexy. Roaches with tunneling claws, and Reynor has no detection. Well, Reynor has some detection, he's gonna see it now. As Reynor has a few Lings in the natural and in the 3rd base, especially the Lings in the natural, having a bit of a field day. For the first time in a little while, Scarlett is out of position as he was focused on their own aggression. These are some really good games, guys. Game 1 was excellent between these two. Even though it obviously looked like it was going to go Scarlett her way against Reynor's Protoss. But the game 2 is very spicy. Could say that it's a tiny bit of a clown fiesta, but it's an incredibly entertaining clown fiesta. And no, it's not similar to Pi against Angrith. It's just not. But it is fun. It's a lot of Ravages. Ravages can be a very solid answer against Lurkers if the Lurkers are lair tech. But against hive tech Lurkers, guys, this is just always painful, man. The Lurkers can move so quickly. The Lurkers have that extra range. Something you can get away with if they don't have their sexy hive tech upgrades yet. Reynor again with a lot of links in an exposed base. More links running into the natural. Looking to maybe snipe some of these Evo chambers. Nope. Instead we're gonna go for drones. Hold position being used on these Zerglings. Very cute Spinecrawler positioning, by the way, by Scarlett. That is definitely saving her a lot of drones. Giving her that tiny bit of extra time to respond against these Ling run-bys. As we've got another battle. But this is not a fight Scarlett can ever win, guys. Lurkers are too freaking good. It is an unfair fight. Very often, I believe, in a thing called Roach. As I think that's even on my caster card that was handed out at the BlizzCon a long time ago. We believe in a thing called Roach, but I do not believe in the Roaches against this many hive attack Lurkers. Scarlett was up 1-0 in this series. But game 2 on the American server, this is an incredibly impressive comeback by Reynor. It looked grim from time to time. It looked good, it looked bad, it looked okay, it looked almost horrible. But Reynor, his hive tech Lurkers are built at different seismic spines. GG gets called. Reynor wins game 2. Not a single trio tonight, guys. Woohoo! No trios today. I want to go back very quickly to that Lurker, to those Lurker losses in the center. I can only imagine that Scarlett had vision of them and Reynor did not see the units. Was that here? Like this is where Reynor took a really cool fight, right? Or was it not here? No, it was before this. Damn it, I want to see it. It's annoying. I don't know where it was. Was it here? I think this is where it was. Yeah. So really sick fight by Reynor. Obviously good hold here. Lurker count currently 10. And then Reynor burrows a lot of his Lurkers here. And he just kind of runs away from it. They just take such a good fight, man. They just jumped on 10 Lurkers like it was nothing. Reynor had vision for most of it, lost vision towards the end. That was just, if there's no buffer, then I guess you can dive on it. If they don't have seismic spines yet, we go back to Europe for game 3. That went very well for Scarlett. I guess Reynor was also surprised by how well that went, otherwise he wouldn't have left them behind. I don't know if Reynor is going to go back to Protoss or if he will stick with Zerg. Still $200 guys on the line for winning this single series, so having a bit of fun is good, but I think in the end every Starcraft 2 player will gladly say yes to 200 buckies. And it seems like Reynor is going to stick with Zerg for now. Maybe he was just impressed by Scarlett, her performance. Or he can try to take the 2-1 lead here and then play Protoss in game 4 on an A. Who knows? But for now it is ZVZ game 3.
Round 3. Fight.
Yeah, I was surprised that the 10 Lurkers, or maybe it was 9 Lurkers, that they died like that. Especially because most of Scarlett, her army, came in from the top. And that means that it was already clumped up, that you would think the Lurker shots can synchronize well, but no, it did not work out. Bottom right side of Winter Madness, representing the Shopify Rebellion, it's our Canadian Zergy Scarlett. Top left side of Winter Madness, losing game 1 with Protoss, but winning game 2 in a very impressive manner with his Zerg. It is the Italian Stallion, Basilisk Reynor. Very fun games tonight. Started off with a clown series between Pi and Angrith. That was very entertaining. Painful, but very fun and entertaining. Then we had an incredibly impressive performance by Nicorect coming out on top against the laser. And here we are. Reynor versus Scarlett. Final series of the night. It's been good so far. Both games enjoyable, fun, some back and forth moments. Even if Scarlett was in the driver's seat for the majority of game 1. It got a little exciting and it got potentially a tiny bit close. Find a trader cast dog like great. I did not eat today. I had to go home a little bit too early for that. I mean, we had some snacks at my mom's place. There was some bread with dip, and I had a drinky, but I did not have a Christmas dinner today. I believe that the plan is that Vicky will bring me some restovers. Whatever they did not eat will be brought to me, but obviously I cannot start this at 6 p.m. and have a Christmas dinner at the same time. But yesterday was good. I was very happy with what we have devoured yesterday. It's fine. We've got 4 more days this year to eat something nice. I want to have some hot pot. I think I'm going to close out the year with a little visit to a Chinese hot pot restaurant. RotterdaM has a bit of everything these days. We've got great ramen. We've got great Korean barbecue. We're also starting to have more and more good hot pot places. I think one of these remaining days of the year, some beers and hot pot. It's going to happen. I saw my dad this morning, yes. My dad said that he answered Vicky 7 hours later. So in his mind, he also answered me. I was like, okay. No. Dad was happy with me. All good. No panic. Let's get hot pot in Hangzhou. Well, in Hangzhou, I can only assume that we can have Heidi Lau hot pot, which is my all-time favorite. I love Heidi Lau. I'm willing to go every day and have spicy meatballs. But I'll dream about that later. For now, let's take a little look at this production tab. As Reynor is building a lot of links, and there is a baiting nest as well. Scarlett does not have that many links yet. So Reynor is definitely going to try to make something happen here, guys. Maybe more for a ling or 2 on the other side of the map. I feel like I heard them more. No, this is Scarlett, her defensive banelings. Reynor's bailing nest wasn't even ready yet. I think Scarlett should be fine here, right? She's taking it very serious, but rightfully so. Because I think Reynor is quite serious about his aggression. Not a bad connection at all. The second one is not good though. The first one was okay, but the second one was not good at all. I still think that we should be fine. Reynor has a couple of banelings on this side of the map. There was one bane here that got a tiny connection. It's not important. See what these 2 banelings of Reynor can accomplish. Scarlett, are we paying attention? I think we are, but we still lose a queen. But, I mean, a queen is not bad for Scarlett, guys. A queen is not bad at all, because Scarlett still has 2 queens. She still has 2 banelings remaining as well. And she is definitely mining a little bit more right now for a little while. We'll take this. Very solid defense on the side of Scarlett. Especially game 3. This is on the European server. I think it's impressive. Reynor really wants to get another queen and does get that queen. That's obviously a lovely little victory for Reynor. It's going to make it a little bit harder for Scarlett to continue growing at a rapid pace. Reynor has a tiny baneling run by, but a single bane does not kill. Doesn't matter how big this connection is, a single baneling does not kill. You need to... I still think overall I give Scarlett at least a B+, if not an A- for this defense. Danke, Don Marcus. I think I can say in response, wie Zeus. Danke, mein Freund. Wie Zeus ist das dann, ey? Wirklich Zeus. Vielen Dank. Lair attack on the way now for Reynor. Scarlett is still on hatchery attack. Scarlett did obviously lose 2 queens in the end. There's a tiny link counter happening on the other side. Seems like Reynor went for one of these solar pokes. Happy New Year, High Gray. I feel like 3 hours and 18 minutes of Merry Christmas, guys. And then we can officially say goodbye to Mariah Carey, Wham, and Bianca Ryan until November next year. And then we'll bring him back. Few more hours of Merry Christmas and then we get ready for the Happy New Year's. What is that cool Christmas shirt? If you mean mine, I assume you mean mine. It is a Alfa Romeo ugly Christmas sweater that I bought like 3 years ago or something in the racing store. So it just has little Christmas trees and little cars on it from the Alfa Romeo F1 team. Still waiting for Roddy to release a Christmas song. I never knew how to sing. And I definitely got even worse at it over the last few years. So I don't think you want to do that to yourself. Or me, or anyone. But what you can count on, mate, Christmas after Christmas, is Roddy being here. Clicking some buttons, trying to have some fun. That you can count on. Me singing, can count on that. Reynor with an a scout over here in the natural and main base of Scarlett. Scarlett doing the exact same thing on the other side of the map. Scarlett is the first to get a couple drop lords. Reynor also getting his own drop lord. I'm gonna out multitask each other, guys. It's roach on roach violence this Boxing Day. That is what really matters. Thank you, matey, for the 21 months. I appreciate you. At least for as long as we can. Scarlett is in Canada. If she was in Korea, obviously all the games would be played on the American server. But Scarlett is home in Canada. I think she will be home in Canada for a while. Reynor is also home. If any of them was in Korea, we'd obviously be playing on different servers. So. Reynor should come to the Big Gabriel Cup, guys. That is absolutely the plan. I'm very excited to welcome him. I'm sure that Gabe loves it too, because Reynor wasn't there the first time. The first time we had a Big Gabe Cup there, Clem was there, Lambo was there, Showtime was there, but Reynor wasn't there. I think it's very cool that Reynor is going to be there this time around. Both players maxed out on Roaches and Ravages. There's a couple Banelings in the mix as well. A few of these Banes, guys, actually all of the Banelings of Scarlett are inside of the Dropper-Lords. Reynor has a Roaches in his Dropper-Lord. I don't know where Reynor's Dropper-Lord is even at. Yep. So Reynor has Roaches in his Dropper-Lord. Scarlett has Banelings. Here come the Scarlett Banelings. Does Reynor expect Banelings? Well, I don't know if he expects it, but he's going to have to deal with it. Pretty decent connections, 10 in total. Huh. Not bad, right? Yeah, Clem won the first Gabriel Cup. The second one, I went to both. The second one was a little bit smaller. And I love the top players. Great defense here by Scarlett, guys. Guns down the drop lord. Actually, 3 roaches do burrow. Alright, hold that up. TLDR, the last one was won by Battleby. Because the second edition was a bit tinier. Less prize money. So the top players did not come. But I expect a lot of the top players to come to number 3. The first one was won by Clem, and the second one by Battleby. Battleby versus Moja was the final of the second one. The first one, I want to say it was either Clem Showtime or Clem Lambo. I don't know. I think it was Clem Lambo, actually. I think Lambo was the runner. That's a long time ago. I think it's great that we're going to Cologne again. Because Cologne is way better than Krefeld. Reynor also says that Ravages are better than Roaches, so he's going to try to take this fight with Roach Ravager versus Pure Roach. 19 Roaches on the production tab for both. Reynor, his upgrades are spectacular compared to Scarlett, her upgrades. And that is obviously a big problem for Scarlett, who does have more units, but her units are vastly inferior. It's incredibly difficult to take fights, guys, when you have +1 missile attacks, while your opponent has +2 missile attack and +1 carapace. More corrosive balls are raining down from above. Scarlett is just going to try to power her way through, and she did pump out enough units defensively, but I think the supplies will kind of tell you the tale of how all of that went. Upgrades, upgrades, upgrades. Wow, that's a lot of overloads, by the way. I don't want to lose those. You really hope for the Star Zagora event? I believe there is a early sign-up thing that you can use for the Star Zagora event, mate. And then I think there's a good chance that that will happen again. We already had 2 editions. I hope for number 3 as the Ravages on Burrow. Scarlett with a very cool move. She used tunneling claws to show up behind Reynor's army. I love the move as a great engagement. The only problem is Reynor, his units were still better upgraded. So even though Scarlett gets a really good engagement, Reynor had the numbers and Reynor had the upgrades. And now when Scarlett has lost the vast majority of her units, it's when finally +2 missile attacks is done. It's kind of seemed that Reynor got further and further and further ahead. And the man from Italy will take the 2-1 lead here. Take another look at this move. This was a really cool move, but it's just the numbers weren't really there anymore and the upgrades are not really there. It's very cool to show up behind the army and get on top of the Ravages immediately. Using the tunneling claws, but +2 missile attack still not done, and Reynor just has more. GG. 2-1 lead for Reynor. Game 4 though will be played on the American server. But yeah, there is a link that you can use to show early interest and support for the Bulgarian event, and I believe that can really help in making it happen. But I also think there's I don't know if that's related or not, but maybe Esports World Cup doing something for Starcraft, and then them teaming up with Stara Zagora again, the way they did last summer, because last summer obviously the winner of the Bulgarian event qualified for the World Cup. That could also go a very long way. Obviously none of us really have any impact on that in this regard, but that could also really help. I don't know, fingers crossed. It's a bit of a guessing game, and I don't want to ruin Christmas or the holidays worrying about it all day every day. We're gonna make the best of next year, one way or the other, and hopefully with a lot of really cool big stuff to look forward to. And there will always be Starcraft, but hopefully on the biggest scale, on a very high level. Game 4 on the American server, guys, for our potentially final game of the night if Reynor wins it. Will it be ZVZ? Will it be ZVP? I have no idea, Suicon. I know nothing, guys. I legitimately know as much as you guys. Other than a little background chatter of like, it's happening, it's not happening, it's happening, it's not happening. But most of the games have been announced. Or all of the games outside of one, if not two, have been announced. So I don't expect it to take too long. It should never take too long. Yeah. I am not part of the Esports World Cup committee, and they have not reached out to me for anything either. I mean, David, obviously Wadi is amazing, mate, but the impact of Wadi tournaments and Esports World Cup can never be compared. And I think you know that. Wadi is a goat. We love Wadi and the entertainment, but Esports World Cup is very important for the scene. There's no way around that. Because Wadi does not want to pay 10 high salaries or 20 high salaries to players. And that is something that the Esports World Cup can make happen, if not 30. So, it's not the same. Unfortunately, our boy Indy is lagging. But there's a lot of lag, guys. Crazy amount of lag. Indy? Sorry, we have a crazy amount of lag right now. I think this is just one of these weird Battle.net NA moments. I suddenly have 1200 ping. Can we... I am getting unlucky here with a special Battle.net treatment.
Game paused.
Scarlett says, now I got it. I think this is just one of these weird Battle.net things, guys, where once in a while it gives you ultra bad ping. It is going down. Yeah, mine is going down a little bit too, but it's still at 500. Normally I have 100. I can try again, otherwise rehost. Sorry guys, random 1100 ping. Being at NA special. It is going down a lot. Oh. That's Indy.
Game resumed.
I don't think Starbuck is playing a lot of Age of Empires though, Diablos. Very good in Warcraft, very good in Starcraft, but not very good in Age of Empires, as far as I know, to the best of my knowledge. Alright, seems like everything is fixed, guys, after that pause. It's very weird. Battle.net has a couple of random hiccups, but... Anyway, I don't know what we're talking about. Wadi's awesome, he's the GOAT, But no one can do it all alone, guys. There are some things that individuals cannot do by themselves. Bottom right side of Ruby Rock, he's up 2-1, one map away from winning this best of 5. It is Reynor. Top left side of Ruby Rock, down 1-2, but we are playing game 4 on the American server. It is Scarlett. Oh wait, no, this is Europe. Oh, it's NA. I forgot. Sorry, guys, it's NA. Yes. Starbucks has never played AoE. Then it becomes rather difficult to beat Benny. We were talking about people that could beat Ben in all 3 games. Warcraft 3, Starcraft 2 and Age of Empires. And I think there are only 2 on this planet that can do that. And those are the Moreno brothers. So he's like, yeah. I mean, it's stressful and worrisome for everyone, Habibi, but we'll see how it goes. I still have a pretty good and positive feeling about all of it. And if not, it's also gonna be okay. But it will be different. But, you know, Warcraft 3 has gone without any big Blizzard or Saudi stuff for like a decade. And they're still going strong and they have events. It's obviously very different and it's not comparable to how Starcraft has been over the last 10 years. But there's still stuff to look forward to and stuff to play in. And Starcraft 2 is too good of a game to ever just randomly stop. Like, that's not a thing. But obviously things will change. Vortex has also been playing SC2 this week. He's like 50-2 and he's 5.6k MMR. Yeah, that's just really annoying about Vortex. I love Vortex and he's very kind, but he's just really annoying. He doesn't play for like 5 months or a year. And then he comes back and he's like, I got 6k MMR with a 93% win record. Yeah, mate, wait to make us all feel really bad about ourselves. Like, that guy should just stop. I want everyone to play Starcraft outside of Vortex. It's just too much. We don't need to hear that. We don't need to see that. Piss off, Vortex. Scarlett made a lot of links. Reynor pulled off a pretty solid defense there as he's going up to 3 bases. Scarlett has her own 3rd base on the way as well. Both players going for +1 carapace. It is halfway done for Reynor. It's only a quarter of the way done for Scarlett. Reynor has a couple of links working on the 3rd hatchery of Scarlett as well. Scarlett keeps her hatch alive. Obviously, early game ZVZ, all of these tiny skirmishes are important. I was kind of out of it, guys, after these crazy lag spikes. And mentally, I was like kind of zen. I was like, this is going to be one of these games where I cannot commentate because I have crazy amounts of lag. And then suddenly I realized I had no lag anymore and they were battling everywhere. I was like, wait, we gotta talk. Top 2%, mate, is like lowballing it. The man is a champ in like 5 different games. It's unreal. The Moreno brothers are truly unreal. I hope Netflix one day makes a cool documentary about the Moreno brothers. I would watch the ever-living crap out of it. I think they're spectacular. Reynor will think that links with +1 carapace are spectacular against Zerglings without +1 carapace. And that means that Scarlett is here in a tiny bit of trouble. She did transition into roaches, and the roaches will help push these links back for now. The work account's pretty even across the board. Scarlett drops a baneling nest. Reynor is going pure roachling ravager. Both players still hatchery attack. Nobody has dared to fire up a lair. And this is basically, guys, the name of the game when it comes to ZVZ in the year 2025 entering 2026. It is incredibly scary to start a lair. And I think Solar is single-handedly responsible for all of that. He has traumatized Zergies left, right, and center. And, you know, if you lose against Solar doing a certain hatchery all in so many times in a row, you start doing it yourself eventually. Solar is patient 0 of making ZVZ a nightmare to play. And now everyone is just a victim. It was incredibly contagious. And everyone has suffered. Reynor does not have a baneling nest. Scarlett does have a baneling nest. 13 slow banelings. Said it before. No speed bane, so he ain't rolling. It's just wiggle, 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 wiggle. Reynor is gonna counterattack. Scarlett, I think at this point will say F this counterattack. I don't care. It's not something I can really worry about. Even though she is sending some links back. Won't save the hatch though. Like, this is the fight that matters, guys. It's linked roaches And slow banelings. Can Reynor save enough units? Beautiful spread by Reynor. Wow, he's doing such a good job in making it almost impossible for these banelings of Scarlett to get good connections. That was incredibly well done. Those Banes never want to settle for one Ravager at a time. That is a beautiful defensive effort by Reynor. And the man who fell down 0-1 with his Protoss is looking incredibly good to now win this series 3-1 and close out the Big Brain Bouts for the year 2025. We will be back on the 23rd of January with Big Brain Bouts with a Cero best of 5. I don't know who Cero is playing yet. Scarlett is gonna try one last time, but I'm afraid that this attack doesn't really have the oomph anymore for the player of the Shopify Rebellion. Reynor with some Queen support as well drops a Transfuse, because why the hell not? Roaches, Ravagers, +1 missile attacks. We had Cero winning 2 weeks ago against Showtime. We had Trigger beating Spirit last week, and we now have Reynor taking down Scarlett in the main event. So triple W's across the board for the Basilisk boys to kick off the new and slightly altered Big Brain Bouts. Next Friday, guys, I will be live with Starcraft, but I'm doing a different community event. The Friday after that, we are of course in Cologne for the Big Gabriel Cup. The Friday after that, we'll be in China, where there is a big prestigious offline event happening. And the Friday after that is the 23rd of January, and that's when we will be back with the Big Brain Bouts. And Cero. And who else? I don't know. GG, very fun night of games. Reynor in the end winning 3 ZVZs in a row. Well done, just great defense multiple times. I think the game on White Rabbit, probably my favorite. I thought that one was very fun. Second game was quite... Yeah, White Rabbit was probably the best, right? Winter Madness was okay, but White Rabbit was definitely the best. GG's, congratulations to Reynor for winning the 200 buckies. Let's take a look at Liquipedia and see if we can go over all the results one more time. We had a best of 5 that included 6 games. We kicked the night off, guys, with Pi versus Angrith. 1-0 lead for Angrith, 1-1. And game 3, Angrith took the lead. Game 4, Pi decided to play Protoss, and we had a draw. Believe it or not, we had a draw. There were more games. Leave it up to Pi to play 6 games in the best of 5. Second series of the night went in favor of Nicorek, guys. What an impressive win for that young man. He talked the talk last Monday, saying that he would be upset if he lost. Well, I guess we'll never know, because he did not lose. 3-1, well done. And last but not least, it is Reynor getting the 3-1 victory over Scarlett. GG's, well done. 500 buckies were awarded to the gamers. 200 Reynor, 50 Scarlett. 70 buckies for the 4000 MMR series between Pi and Angrith. And 125 buckies for Nicorek. I don't know how to do dark mode on Liquipedia, but I also know I don't like it that much. But I've got good news for you guys. I got a new monitor yesterday. I don't have it here yet, because I never like changing anything on my setup a night before I have to cast. But tomorrow I will bring that monitor upstairs and I will implement it. And maybe on that monitor I will be a dark mode enjoyer, because it is slightly bigger. And maybe if it's bigger, that would be too much brightness for my old little eyes to deal with. And we'll start becoming a dark user enjoyer for Liquipedia as well. Alright, I think that is all I got. I believe that Vicky came home. And since I skipped Christmas dinner, or at least the second Christmas Day dinner, to have Big Brain Bouts with you guys, I am obviously very hungry. I will stick around because I want to play a little bit of Macabellum on this Boxing Day. We have a couple of hours. We are still running a promotion, guys, together with Macabellum. We, as in Basilisk. If you guys are interested in taking a look at Macabellum, make sure to use !Macabellum in the chat. That will bring you to this page. If the game looks fun, it's only $9. How can you ever have a bad purchase for $9? I know what you're thinking. Roddy, I had coffee once. It sucked for $9. No. Macabellum does not suck. It is awesome. I'm very excited to play a couple game pieces tonight. But obviously, I would need to eat something first as well, because I'm kind of hungry. It's not breakfast now. I don't know. I think it's just rest over. Whatever my mom, grandma, and Vicky did not eat will be served to me. So you already bought it? That's great. Let's have some fun, mate. I don't know what I'm going to play tonight. Maybe some 1v1, maybe some 2v2. Maybe some of the Neo modes. But obviously first I can answer a couple of questions, or we can actually just do that afterwards. I will settle this prediction Reynor is the Italian Zerg. GG.